Okay, welcome to class. Got our first week under our belts. First and second weeks in this class are a little bit different. This second week will mirror more the normal format of the class than the first week. So let's just jump right into it. Just want to review a couple things that I noticed that seemed like some of the class struggled with during the first week. First is combining forms. One thing to remember with combining forms, and I said this in the first lecture, you needed to understand combining forms for the first quiz, and the rules are all given in the textbook, so I'm going to say this again. I hope you all go out, get a copy of the textbook, get an electronic copy of the textbook, and read it and review it, especially for the open note and open book portion of the assignments, that you use that so you don't miss out on those points. So first thing, combining forms. You can link multiple root words together with the combining form. So here's a couple examples. Hepatogastro. So there's the hepat. This is the root word of liver. And then the combining form for this is hepato. And so now we have hepatogastro. So liver and stomach. And then you could go on. And here's another example. Gastroesophageal duodenal. Right, gast this right here is the root word. Gastro is the combining form. When we're linking two root words together, we always use the combining form. When we're linking gastro with a suffix that begins with a vowel, we would lose this O and it'd just be gastritis, and I have that on another slide. So number one, you can do that. Number two, you can link it to a suffix, right? If the suffix starts with a vowel, we don't use the combining form, just like we talked about gastritis, right? The root is the combining form is gastro. When the suffix ends with a vowel, we drop the O and we just have gastritis. Now, if the suffix starts with a consonant, we use the combining form. Here's the combining form, gastromegaly. Enlarged stomach, right? And root words can have a prefix or suffix or both added to it to change the meaning of the word. So here we have cardiac, card, and cardio. This is the root word. This is the combining form. Pericarditis, right? This is a prefix around. This is the root word heart, and inflammation. So inflammation around the heart, pericarditis. And here we go, cardio, myopathy, right? Card is a root word here. Here's the combining form. Here this is about muscle, and this is pathology of the heart muscle, cardiomyopathy. So some follow-up on combining forms. A couple housekeeping items from week one. I gave everyone a point on a couple of questions. The first was a really long word that asked how many root words there were. I think probably 90% of the class missed it. So when I see that, I just say that's usually a bad question. So I gave everybody a point in order to equalize across that question. And the second was that there was some confusion on the syllabus quiz about the deadline for late assignments. And so because of that, I gave everybody a point on that. Just so you know that what it said on the syllabus is nothing can be turned in late after week 12, and that is true. If you have any questions about that, let me know. A few new things for this week to keep in mind. The terminology builder is coming up, so make sure you play with that. One word of advice, the terminology builder, you can make up words that are not real medical words, and because you can do that, I would suggest that you verify. In fact, you need to verify any word you create in the terminology builder in the dictionaries, and all those dictionaries have links in iLearn 3 under resources. There's a link for dictionaries, so make sure you look in that. Next thing is the gospel insights. Make sure you're posting in there. You're all assigned to a different group. Make sure you're posting in the correct discussion board, and that you're providing feedback in those as well. And then the helpful hints, the way that I'm going to utilize that is that I will be posting things to help focus your study. And as long as you participate and respond to the things that I'm posting, then I will give you credit for that discussion board. You're certainly more than welcome to post your own things in there. If you find something that's worked really well for you, I'd love to have it. But if you just participate on the things that I put in there, and we teach one another, then I'll give you credit for that discussion board. So this week's all about prefixes, suffixes, and the categories that we find them in. Remember, you have a root word, and prefixes and suffixes change the meaning of that root word and give us direction about that. So that's what this week is all about. So here's just a quick example on some prefixes here. Prefixes denote these four categories, and that's what you have to be really aware of this week. Is prefixes denote direction, number, others, and position. Okay, so if you get a question on the quiz that talks about, it gives you a word and says, is this referring to direction, number, other, or position, you're going to look at the prefix and determine that. Now, all the little ones with stars around them, those are the ones you really need to pay attention to for the quiz. I'm trying to really help them focus your study this week. So as you read through the text and do your readings and your assignments, make sure you're spending time on these ones with the stars so that you understand what they do and what they mean. Okay, we're not going to go over all of that here, or else we'd be here all night. The other thing is suffixes. Know the categories, right? They're adjectives, they're diagnostic, or they're surgical. Okay, so if you get a multiple choice question on the quiz and it says, is this surgical, descriptive, or diagnostic, you need to look at the suffix. That's what you need to pay attention to on the quiz, okay? So for the quiz, they'll give you complete words. Here's an example, endocarditis, and then you'll be asked to classify that according to the prefix or suffix, and you'll be given 3 categories to choose from. So I want to give you some example questions, and these all came from my teaching group leader. Her name's Michelle, so kudos to her on this, and I appreciate her help with this. So here's a term we just had, endocarditis, and then we say here, is this surgical, is this diagnostic, or is this an adjective? We go back to here. We're obviously talking about suffixes. These are the 3 categories of suffixes. And so we say endocarditis. Well, itis means inflammation, so that's diagnostic, so the answer is B. All right? So let's do some more of these. All right? Here's the word osteomalacia. Again, surgical, diagnostic, or adjective. So we're looking at suffixes again. Malacia, right? This is diagnostic in nature, so the answer is B, right? Here we go. This word is preprandial, and this term, is it a position, a number, or a direction? So we go back over here. We look at here, position, number, direction. So we're talking about prefixes here. We go back. Preprandial, this is before eating, right? So this is a position, right? This is a position answer. Answer is A. Here we go, word valvuloplasty. Again, is it surgical, diagnostic, or adjective? Again, if we refer back to our chart, we can clearly say they're asking us to look at the suffix and make a determination. We look at this, the valvuloplasty, plasty, the surgical suffix, so this is a surgical. A few more, cholangial, right? So here we go, surgical, diagnostic, or adjective. Again, we know these are the suffix categories. We're looking at the suffix, and this is C. This is the descriptive word, okay? Epicardium, position, number, or direction. Again, these are prefix categories. We look at this chart again. Of course, you memorize this so that you don't have to use it on the quiz. But epicardium, and the answer is A, epi, right? This describes the position of the cardium, right? So good. Then the next one, costectomy, right? Again, Surgical, diagnostic, adjective, these are the suffix categories. Ectomy is a surgical procedure, removal of something, and so this is surgical. A few more here. Perineurography, and of course we look here, surgical, diagnostic, or adjective, and we look here. You can go back to your chart as you practice these. Go back to the surgical, right? Here it is. Here's the suffix right down here, and surgical, right? Intrathecal, right? And position, number, direction. So we're looking at the prefixes again, and this is going to be direction, intra, as you go through. So there's that. And then dietitian, surgical, diagnostic, or adjective, right? So here we go, we're looking at suffixes again. And this, of course, this is adjective, describing somebody who works on diets. A few more here. I'll let you go over these. It's the same thing, but I would definitely go through this and make sure you're understanding what we're after here. So use the PowerPoint. I will post a worksheet that looks very similar to this chart here that will allow you to go through these, concentrate your focus on these ones with the stars, and I think that you'll have a successful week. Again, ask the Lord for help. He's there to help you. He wants you to help. And I think this will be a very successful week for you if you focus your studies in those ways. Remember the things of addition. You've got terminology builder, you've got gospel insights discussion, and you have helpful hints, which I'll be posting in. And hopefully, as you participate with me, that will help to focus your study as well. Look forward to working with you this week. Have any questions, call, text, or email me. Try to be very responsive to those. Thank you for your time.